All right, are we rolling? I think we're on. Wow. It was so cool to learn about the different things that it takes to launch a brand, a supplement brand, either or. Like, there was so much that I learned around like product development, preparing for launch day, Google ads, marketing campaigns. And it's crazy how like a lot of the things that I've been working on over the last few years all hit like these different components of digital marketing. And then the course that I'm doing with Google kind of brings everything together, right? It puts everything in a concise format and is helping me connect the dots, and being able to apply what I've been doing, what I'm learning, and apply that to like what the future looks like has been such a cool journey. And like in my head, I have this visual of like watching my energy and skill set shift from like the corporate world into this entrepreneurship world. And a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, I remember I was talking a little bit about like being nervous or scared around like, how is this going to work? Like, how am I going to make money? And like, now I see it. Now I see the different service offerings and proposals that I'm putting together, given the different components that people are asking me to help them out with. And for this video, I really wanted to give a little bit of a background on helping my friend Andy launch his brand in the United States. So the company that he found is called CS2. Their website is drinkcs2.com. They are originally based from Australia. That's where Andy is from. I met Andy back at Founders Only Club when I was in Austin in mid-March last month. And what started off as just a simple peer connection within the health and wellness industry has quickly formed into a great friendship. So we started off just as talking about business partners and creating a partnership between me and them and how I can help them launch in the US. CS2 is a sleep supplement company that helps you fall and stay asleep. And as most of you know, in the last year, I have taken a ton of time to really focus on like the recovery, resetting, not just like physically so I can continue to race as an athlete, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, where it's like sleep is the foundation to everything. We can't perform at our best if we're not sleeping at our best. So the idea and concept of sleep has been such a top of mind priority for me as I go into 2025, not just with athletics, but like building out this business and building out my future from a professional standpoint. And so I've been using CS2 for the last 2 weeks and it's been great. The taste is awesome. I can tell I'm like falling and staying asleep and I'm dreaming again, which is really great. I know I'm getting really high quality sleep when I'm dreaming. And so that's been super helpful. And the other thing I'll say too is like, there's so many supplements out there. And don't get me wrong, I love all the companies out there. I am so for everything elevating the health and wellness industry as a whole. I feel like we talk so much about like the grind and the hustle and like finding things to like stimulate us to like keep going. But why don't we ever talk enough about like coming down from the day and like thinking like, okay, if I want to get the best performance out of the day, how do I get the best performance out of my sleep? And I love their slogan that they use. I actually have the box right here. Their box has a slogan that I always said. I even said this when Amar did the 24 hours with me a couple weeks back, where I was like, good days start with great nights. And that's over here what they have on their box. I think I could pull it up there. It focuses in. And I'm a firm believer in that. I think that if we're getting really shitty sleep, that we're gonna have really shitty days, and eventually that just catches up to us. So it's been super cool to get to know Andy and CS2. So when we were talking in Austin, you know, I was asking everybody that question, like, how could I bring value to brands with a small following? And he immediately responded with user-generated content. User-generated content is content created by users. So this could include reviews, photos, videos, testimonials related to the product, brand, or service. That content that you create can either be posted on the creator's page, or the brand or company can take that content and they can throw it into like a Google ad or a marketing campaign, whether it's on like Meta, Instagram, whatever it may be. They can take the content that you create and throw it out into their funnel. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on my page. That's also known as white labeling. So they're taking something that I create and they're throwing it into their campaigns and seeing if it resonates with their audience. One of the things that I'm learning here is that there's different people like myself that will resonate with different audience. So like, let's say person A and I'm person B make the same piece of content. Maybe mine, we say the exact same thing, but maybe mine doesn't hit and this person's does. They will go ahead and apply more marketing funds to that specific campaign because the way that they said it just resonates with the audience more. So that falls under the white labeling campaign. So when Andy and I did our scoping call, just talking about like, okay, like what exactly do you want from me? We came came up with 3 concepts. We wanted 1, still images that they would use in a carousel, so it would be 3 still photos. Number 2 would be a product review testimonial video, so essentially me talking about the product. If you were recently on my Instagram, you may have saw that come up on, I think it was Sunday, April 20th that was released, just showing me talking about why I like the product, and then some like B-roll of me going to sleep, stuff like that. And then the third one, I haven't seen that ad come out yet as of Monday, April 21st. I think that's when this is coming out. But essentially, it was another short form video, but this was more like an action video. So think about like those types of ads where you see the people taking the supplement and then they're doing their sport or whatever it may be. This for me was, of course, mountain running. So it goes along with the slogan of good days start with great nights and how the supplement helps amplify my mountain running. So those are the 3 concepts that we came up with of like, hey, let's create these. We'll start putting these in campaigns. We came to an agreement on the partnership and the retainer, which was great. And one of the things that's really cool about this is like, I have a certain vision around like what I want my content to look like, right? I look at the content that I make and that I like to watch. And the biggest thing here is to not be attached to that content, because if you really think about it, this isn't about me. This isn't about Omar. This is about CS2. Does this align with CS2's branding? Does this align with what Andy is thinking? And so one of the things that I always recommend to people getting into this space is be open to adjustments, like because you have your vision and you have their vision. How do we come together, right? Think about this too. They came to you for a reason. So there was something that you've done in the past, whether it's you personally or they've seen a piece of content that you make that they really like. So there was something about you that they liked. So don't feel like you have to stray away so far away from your brand, but be open to slight adjustments. And that's exactly what we did here. We went through a couple of iterations of the still images and the videos where it's like, hey, let's tweak this out. Let's add some captions here. I changed my shirt in one video versus the other, where in the version 1 of the product review video, I was wearing a black shirt because I mainly wear black, but the box is black. So it wasn't popping as much. And in version 2, we switched it to a white shirt and the black box popped more. So when I was talking, the logo and the box was really standing out in the ad. So these are just like small little tweaks that we go over together as a group, and then we come to a final product and we start to use that in the campaign. So that was really cool to have some collaboration with another creator and founder and just get different ideas, because every time I go through another campaign, it helps me get better and faster for the next one. So then when a different company reaches out and they're like, hey, what are your thoughts here? You can immediately go back to some of the previous campaigns that you've worked on and say like, this is what we've done in the past and this is what we saw that worked. What are your thoughts? And so overall, I mean, the partnership has been really great and I'm super stoked to watch them grow. They officially launched on Saturday, April 19th. So I will put a link to the discount codes if you want to check them out. Like I said, I've been using it for a couple weeks now. I'm almost out of my first package from Andy and absolutely love it. I would love your feedback on what you think here. And as I zoom out and think about not just this experience, but some of the things that I'm doing with other brands, whether it was in the past, we're working on right now, or ones that are in the pipeline with current leads that I'm talking to with other founders, was this certain image or visual, I'll say, around like, here are all the different things that you do, Omar, as a creator. And I was like, I need to see a visual because I need to be able to show these brands exactly like, what can I offer you? Like, who is Omar as a digital marketer? And I came up with this visual as an infographic, which showcases all of the different things that I could do for a brand. And I don't know why I never had this up until recently, but I've shared it with a couple of people and like, this is really great because there's maybe 1 or 2 things that you can really help me out with now. And then there's like 3 or 4 or 5 things that we can talk about here in the future. And so I finally got like my different skill set onto a single image and started to share with people. And the response has been really great. So I can tell things are speeding up really quickly. There are a couple of days where it is very overwhelming. And I actually had to call my parents last week where I was like, I think I have a lot on my plate. And I've been having a little bit of trouble managing the energy. So what I've been doing, I actually on Saturday, I just finished the 30-day challenge of no social media or responding to messages until after my morning conditioning. So Saturday was the 30-day mark. And it is 100% something that I'm going to continue to do. I actually feel like I might do it longer, like maybe going till lunch, but I'm going to go another 30 days just waiting till after running and yoga to get back to people and checking my messages. I might do blocks where it's like, let's just do a quick check on everything and then come back to it in a couple hours. But more to come on that topic. And there's some more exciting things that will be coming here in a couple of videos that I'm not quite ready to share yet. But as always, I greatly appreciate all the support from every one of you that watch these videos. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. And we will catch you in the next video. Well, here we are with Maria and Sonoy. Here's the chair. There's the chair. And that's Virginia. This is Downing, the northwest corner of Watch Park. I'm in front of this thing, whatever that thing is. There's a porta potty there. And we're gonna start running. All right, so we are at mile 12.5. We got Logan, Joe, Samuel, Sonoy. We are now gonna switch directions. So we were going counterclockwise. We're now gonna go clockwise for the next 5 laps, next 12.5 miles. So if you're coming over the next 2 hours, we'll be going clockwise. All right, so we are at mile 25. We're doing the last turnaround, and we are now going to be running counterclockwise. So there's some last 5 laps, last 12 miles. Let's finish running. Yeah, at the quarter, like did a little pitch. First time the whole ride. Did you hear me go? Oh shit! That last mile was wild. I saw 6:45.